Hey, yeah, good evening. What's up? How are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Great. Are we good to start? Okay. Right. Hey, people. Good evening. My name is Rudra, and I'm on DC Live, where we are on air. So it is a great feeling to be on DC Live, especially it's a Friday evening at 5:30, and we are here for Cornerstone Weaving Workplace. Okay, so it's what we are here for this show, and thanks for tuning in wherever you are, whichever location you are. And it's a great Friday evening, and hope you all had a great week, and then looking forward for the weekend. All right, so what are we going to do about today? We're going to talk about something called connecting places, right? So weaving workplaces, and this show is called Cornerstone. Why is it called Cornerstone? Because the human dynamics, the skills that you need for it, and working through them is very important for you to knit your workplace relationships. Okay, I have a slightly bad throat. I'm a little under the weather. Now, just bear with me. In case you guys are not able to hear me, probably back here, but then I'm trying to speak as much as possible. Now, I'm going to talk about a very important topic, a very, very important area, which is interpersonal relationships and interpersonal skills. We're going to talk about these two things. Now, interpersonal relationships and interpersonal skills. Which one of them comes first? What do you think? Which one comes first? Does interpersonal relationship happen because you have interpersonal skills? Or is it because your interpersonal relationships are good, so your interpersonal skills grow? Think about it. Take a moment, think about it. Now, I would say interpersonal skills help you build interpersonal relationships. They are interlinked, interrelated. One helps build you another. Interpersonal skill will help you build interpersonal relationships. Okay. While interpersonal relationships help you get better with your interpersonal skills. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, let's understand what each one of them mean and how each one of them are distinct from each other. That's what we're going to talk about today in the next 15-20 minutes. I've just dropped that in the in-call messages. You can take a look at it. Now let me quickly get to straight to interpersonal relationships. Okay? What's the definition of it? Everything has a definition, everything has a meaning. The definition of an interpersonal relationship in interpersonal relationships refers to the connections, associations, and interaction that exist between two or more people. They are the actual bonds, ties, or connections that form between individuals. These can range from brief acquaintances to deep, enduring bonds. Okay? That's the definition of an interpersonal relationship. What is its nature? Well, its nature is there are outcomes of interactions that can be formal, like professional relationships, or informal, like friendships or family bonds. They're dynamic and evolve over time. And they're influenced by shared experiences, communication, and mutual expectations. That's the nature of an interpersonal relationship. Now, let me give you a quick few examples of what interpersonal relationships are so that you can visualize them. The friendship you have with your best friends, the work relationship between colleagues, the bond between family members, any family members, a parent, child, uh, a nephew and niece that you may have, or a cousin or a sister. That's what we're talking about, a bond between two people. A romantic partnership is a classical example of an interpersonal relationship. Now, what does interpersonal relationship focus on? The focus is on the nature and quality of the connection itself, meaning the elements like trust, intimacy, respect, interdependence, and shared goals. So all of them put together is called interpersonal relationships focus. Four things that we have discussed about interpersonal relationship: the definitions, the nature, the example, and the focus of it. These are what we're talking about interpersonal relationships. Now, let's quickly look at what an interpersonal skill would be in the same order. Interpersonal skill are skills, or rather the abilities, behaviors, and qualities that individuals use to interact and communicate effectively with others. They are the tools, competencies that enable you to build, maintain, navigate interpersonal relationships successfully. Okay. Let me repeat this definition again. Interpersonal skills are your abilities, behaviors, and qualities that individuals use to interact and communicate effectively with others. These are essentially your tools or competencies that enable you to build, maintain, and navigate interpersonal relationships successfully. What's the nature of this? They are the means or methods by which individuals engage with others. They are learned and can be developed. These are something which can be developed and improved over time through practice and self-awareness. Okay? That's the nature of interpersonal skills. Few examples of interpersonal skills are your communication, which includes active listening, clear verbal, non-verbal expression, empathy. Emotional intelligence is understanding and managing your own emotions and recognizing and influencing the emotions of others. This is emotional intelligence. Conflict resolution, the ability to address disagreements constructively and find solutions. That's called conflict resolutions. Teamwork and collaboration, working effectively with others towards a shared goal is called teamwork and collaboration. Negotiations, reaching mutually agreeable solutions. Leadership, guiding and motivating others is leadership. Building rapport, establishing a connection and fostering trust. These are examples of interpersonal skills. Now, what's the focus? The focus is on the individual's capabilities that facilitate positive interaction, effective communication, and healthy relationships. Now, look at it this way. If interpersonal relationship is the outcome, the skills are the one that drives interpersonal relationship. It's like using your computers. Your computers can go ahead and help you read documents, open applications, run softwares, use multiple other tools that can help you do a lot of things. Now, that's the outcome on a computer. But then you need to have skills which can help you run an application, which can help you read a document, which can help you host applications. So that's the difference or the relationship between interpersonal relationship and interpersonal skills. That's what we're talking about. Now, let's quickly see, in a context, what is the relationship, and understand a bit further on interpersonal relationship and skills. Interpersonal relationships are the houses you build. Okay, they are the structures of connection that you establish with others. While interpersonal skills are the tool you use to build those houses. They are the communication, empathy, conflict resolution, and the other abilities that allow you to construct and maintain strong, healthy relationships. That's what these two things mean. Now, why is it important in a corporate world? Why are interpersonal skills essential for team members? Because it helps you boost your performance. Okay? Individuals feel that collaborating together, working together, and how are you respected? How do others respect you? That's the way that you want to work with everybody. If you can work that way, that's why it helps you to perform. It enhances collaboration. In seamless teamwork relies on open communication and mutual respect. It helps you reduce conflict. Proactive communication and empathy can de-escalate issues before they become a major problem. Morale and retention improves morale and employees want to be working in a specific projects. Team members are more likely to stay and engage when they have a very positive relationship with their team members. It's a brand of your own work. How do you work? And helps you effectively solve problems. So these are the ways that interpersonal skills will help you. Now, quickly talking about 5 to 6 ways of how do you demonstrate interpersonal skills at work. The first one is active listening. Remember, let me give you a phrase here. Active listening means it's more than just hearing. Active listening is it's more than just hearing. It is the ability to fully concentrate on, understand, respond to, and remember what another person is saying. It could be in any mode like verbal, non-verbal. I repeat, what is active listening? It is your ability to fully concentrate, understand, respond, and to remember on what another person is saying. How do you practice this? You need to pay attention. Whenever someone is talking, put away your distraction. Even in meetings, phone, laptop, no. It's a big no. Even in virtual meetings, keep them away and look at the person who's talking. That's very important. It is called making eye contact. So you're listening, nod, use encouraging acknowledgements through verbal. Your acknowledgements like yes, I acknowledge, I see, I get that, I understand are very important. And quickly paraphrasing and summarizing keeps you engaged actively in a meeting. So if you have another conversation somewhere, just go ahead and say that. So if I got this right, what I understand from you is, and ask clarification questions like, could you elaborate on what specifically are we talking about here? Okay. And always listen to understand. Don't listen to respond. And very important, resist interrupting. You would want to jump on interrupting, but resist interrupting. Let the other person talking to you finish their thoughts. Until then, go ahead and wait for it. So that's what is called active listening. Now, another one is be clear and concise in your communication. Have you heard about this pretty famous phrase from Rajinikanth's movie, right? Solradatan Saiva, Sayurdatan Salvan. To the other side of my Kannada friends, it's Hedodne Madodu Madodne Hedodu. Right? So that's what it is. So say what you mean what you say. It's very, very important. Okay. And mean what you mean. What is it being clear and concise? It is your ability to convey information, ideas, and expectations in a way that is easily understood, unambiguous, and appropriate for the audience. This includes verbal, written, and non-verbal. It's important because it minimizes errors and rework. It ensures everyone is on the same page, avoids misunderstanding and conflicts. Okay. It's very, very important. How do you practice this? Be specific. Avoid vague language. Be concise. Get to the point. Consider your audience. Who are you talking to? Adjust your language and level of detail depending on that. Choose the right medium. Is it a quick chat, an email, a detailed document, or a clean meeting? Confirm understanding. Ask open-ended questions on the other person who's talking to you. And also Ask questions like, okay, the takeaway from this is what is it? What is the takeaway as you understand this? Can you walk me through your understanding of the task? Probably when you talk as a leader or something like that, that's one way of getting it. And that's what is the second step, which is clear and concise. Third one, empathy, stepping into their shoes. What is it? It is an ability to understand fair feelings of another person. By the way, I've spoken about this in earlier classes or earlier sessions as well. It's not sympathy, right? So sympathy is feeling for them, but rather understanding their perspectives and emotions as if you were experiencing them yourself as empathy. Why is it important? Because it helps you understand and recognize and be respectful about someone else's emotion. It is essential for managing stress and burnout. It also allows you to ensure that you gain someone else's trust and rapport when you're talking. How do you practice this? Listen to understand. I told this in the previous slide. Listen to understand. Don't listen to reply. Go beyond the words to grasp the underlying emotions. Acknowledge feelings. I can see how you would feel frustrated about that. Do not say the moment someone says, this is troubling me. Oh, this should not be troubling you at all. Do not say that. That is like dismissing someone's emotion. Okay. Maybe you can say, that seems like you're feeling overwhelmed. That's still fine. Okay, but do not say, oh, this is not a big thing at all. Don't do that. That's like you're being very discouraging about their emotions. Okay? Ask some open-ended questions of how is this impacting you? What's on your mind about this? Always be non-judgmental. Avoid judgments. Suspend your own opinions for a moment. Validate emotions. Even if you don't agree with the action, you can validate that feeling. Right? So that's the emotional aspect that you need to have. Very important. That's empathy. And I've already told about empathy out of three types of three layers, which is cognitive, emotional, and compassionate. Cognitive is understanding someone's feeling. Emotional is you feeling someone's feelings. Compassionate is you being attached or you being oriented towards doing something about how the way they're feeling. That's cognitive, emotional, and the other C that I always talk about, very important, compassionate. What do you want to do about their feeling? They're feeling bad for it. That's the third one. Now let's get to the fourth one, conflict resolution. Never leave any conflict unattended. Okay. What is it? It is not about fighting. Conflicts is not about fighting. It is about any disagreement that someone has. Always, you need to have the ability to mediate disagreements between team members. Okay, that's very, very important. Or between yourself and a colleague, between yourself and another team, cross-functional team member. Could be an HR, could be an accounts, could be a finance, could be a transport guy, but then it's very important that you manage these conflicts. Okay. It prevents small disagreements and misrepresentations and misunderstanding. Always address issues early. That's how you start practicing it. Don't let problems fester. Focus on the issue, not the person. I repeat, focus on the issue, not the person. Separate the problem from the individual. Listen to all sides. Okay, listen to all sides. Look for common ground. Identify shared goals or inputs. Facilitate a solution. Guide them towards a resolution. Don't impose one until really necessary. That's the fourth one. Right? It is conflict resolution. And the fifth one that I'm going to talk about is very, very important, which is adaptability and open-mindedness. It means being open to new ideas, processes, technologies, people, and adjusting your style of working depending on the team needs, cross-functional needs, organizational needs, and whatever, the business needs at that moment. Very important. Another one, that's the sixth one that I'm talking about. Sixth, and a couple of few things I'm just going to touch about. Whenever you want to share feedback about someone, be specific about the specific concept. Do not talk about it because of the person. It's very important. Explain the positive or the negative consequences of that behavior. It's very important. Focus on the what, not the who, because it's always about what had happened and not the who did it. When we give feedback, we always focus on the who. Do not talk about the who, it is about what, right? And the last thing is about ensure that you want to actively involve yourself in engaging in open conversations, being very, ensuring that you spread the positivity at work. That's very, very important because that plays a major role. You don't have to have a position you don't have to be a supervisor, SME, team leader, manager to spread that motivation. Motivation and actively involving yourself is your individual choice. You've got to be that person who's going to go ahead and be motivated for yourself and ensure you motivate your team. That's very, very important. Okay. All right, people. That's all I had for this team. Quickly, I'm sorry, this particular session on DC Live. Quickly summarizing all of it was what we spoke. Interpersonal skills are indeed trainable tools and competencies. Okay, do not think that it is not natural. I am not a people person. People say this, right? I always hear the operations guys, especially from the operations side, use this. I'm not from HR. I'm not a people's guy. Also. In fact, let me be honest here. HR is not someone who talks every day to your team. But you are the operations leaders and the team managers are the ones who talk to your team every day. Right? Does HR talk every day to someone? No, they do not. HR maybe talks during the interview. HR talks when the salary doesn't credit. HR probably talks only when when probably there's something that the employee needs addressed. But who talks to them every day is the supervisors, the line managers are the ones who talk to team members every day. Okay. That's why it becomes so important that everybody should have interpersonal skills. It's not an HR competency. People think being nice is interpersonal skill. No, that's not it about. It's about how can you navigate yourself through the human dynamic. That's what is very important. Okay. These are specific behaviors, techniques, mindsets, and emotions that you can learn, practice, and refine over time. They are the how of interacting with others. Those are your interpersonal skills. While interpersonal skills are how of interacting with others, the interpersonal relationship are the results that reflect of the learning and application of those skills. Okay? They are your actual connection, bonds, and dynamics that form between individuals. Okay? That's what it is, right? So I hope you all enjoyed listening and to the interpersonal skill and the interpersonal relationship. So keep in mind, it's a cyclic process. You learn and develop interpersonal skills. To apply these skills in your interactions with others day in and day out. That's very important. The way you apply these skills influences the nature and quality of your interpersonal relationship. The experiences within these relationships in turn provide or share a feedback for you to identify your opportunities and to further refine this and learn new interpersonal skills. Whatever be the machine, whatever be the artificial intelligence. What are we trying to do with deep learning and artificial intelligence? Technology, okay, all of us wanted to do this, right? All of us wanted to go behind technology. But what are we making the technology go behind? We are making artificial intelligence behave like humans. Isn't that what we're doing? We want machines to behave like humans. Okay. That is where the concept of deep learning, neural networks, everything comes into play. Let's understand that. So you want to add emotions to your computers, your machines, your artificial intelligence. That's what we're doing. Great people. So that's all. Any questions? Anybody has something to ask? Someone has a question for me. Someone wants to ask me something. Anybody, people?
I said no.
Yes, no.
No.
All right, wonderful. It was really a great show. It's always, I'm very happy always to be on DC Live. And today was another episode of it on the Cornerstone Living Workplace. And I leave you with this thought that it is very, very important. How do you make another person or an individual feel? And that's where you need to learn interpersonal skills. Thank you so much for having me here, DC Live, and also it's a Friday evening, and it's always nice to be here. We'll meet you again on the next week's show on DC Live on Cornerstone Weaving Workplace at 5:30. This happens every Friday at 5:30. Listeners, please tune in on next Friday for this show. I'll be more than happy to talk about another topic. Until then, this is your host, Rudra, signing off. Take care. Bye-bye. Have fun. Yeah.